Hey, everybody. Good evening. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here because I got in front of the show right on the button to be able to broadcast and meet YouTube's Showtime requirements and our own here on YouTube. I'm Jerry Vassilatos. Welcome to another edition of Chicago Corner for Tuesday night, right before Thanksgiving. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope we're going to have a good show this evening. Right now, I'm hosting by myself. We might have some guests pop in later. I'm sure the ghost of Peg Leg Sullivan will pop in, as well as hopefully my colleague and friend Ed Heller. I am still adjusting my camera here. So, thanks for joining us tonight. We have a few stories to cover. This might not be a very long show, just because I've had a lot going on today, and I was unable to dive in and get a lot of stories as we normally cover to share with you all and discuss. In fact, I'm bringing up the first story so I can read it to you. But we're going to start with something different. I'm actually going to bury the lead, and I'm going to start with what's in our show icon first, which is the Chicago Corner Hardlands Media annual. I'm hoping it's going to be annual. I'm going to be starting with the Chicago Corner Hardlands Media annual holiday fundraiser. Oh, by the way, the reason I'm late tonight, I had the wonderful opportunity to hook up with some childhood friends from when I was a kid at St. Peter and Paul's Church. Some Sunday school friends and Goya friends. It was very, very unexpected. I guess the holidays are the time where everybody from out of town is able to get together before they get together with their families. But it was a very nice surprise to hook up with many of my friends from childhood, enjoy some good Greek food together. Managed to get here in time, but that's why we're starting late tonight. I didn't want to lose the opportunity to meet up with some of them, but I also didn't want to deprive all of you from having a nice conversation and a little pre-holiday cheer. So thanks for being patient and joining me tonight. And as always, I'm going to be opening up the live chat to comments so that we can also hear what you in the live chat think on tonight's stories. But here's what we're going to start with. I'm going to share a Chicago story with you all before we go into the news. So for many of my longtime viewers who've been watching the show, I'm sure you've all heard me talking about the fact that I wanted to see if I could do some kind of a community event, bringing us all together under the umbrella of Hardlands Media and Chicago Corner, where we can collect non-perishable goods for the Greater Chicago Food Depository, as well as Toys for Tots. The idea was to have a big community event where we would have a collection point, and in exchange for all of you good people bringing food and toys, I would share and give back with a screening of my Christmas movie, Solstice, which was restored for its 25th anniversary in 2018. We reached out to a venue over a month ago. It was a logical venue to propose partnership to do a charitable fundraising and collection event, and kind of fell on deaf ears, unfortunately, which leaves us with no venue to be able to collect the toys, collect the food, or have at least a suitable screening facility to share the movie for those that might have wanted to see it. And this is not about showing the movie as much as I've had this asset for years and years and years and years. I'm very proud of. And I figure if there's a way to utilize it to give back to people and encourage them to give and bring toys and food to an event, they can get something out of it. Also sharing some holiday cheer and getting together with the community in the sense of doing something good for everybody. So as that effort sadly fell upon deaf ears, first we asked if they would partner with us and got crickets. Then we said, what would it cost to rent your venue? And we got crickets. This just tells me you got to fucking do it yourself. So here's my proposal to all of you out there. Well, first of all, the Greater Chicago Food Depository and Toys for Tots, thankfully, they have collection points set up all over the city. and they've got a lot of partners. And I do want to say I actually spoke with someone at the Greater Chicago Food Depository, very, very kind gentleman, when we were hoping that we could put this thing together. And as we don't have a collection point or a venue to do this community event, this is my decision. This is what I'm shifting gears into right now, so at least we can feel like we're doing something for the community. I think I've shared in the past that I have volunteered with a phenomenal organization here in town called the Night Ministry. And I want to share with all of you what the Night Ministry is about before I also share with you what my goal is in helping the Night Ministry here in Chicago raise money for Thanksgiving and the holidays and beyond. So let me share with you a video about what the Night Ministry is about and why I am choosing them as my charitable foundation this year to forward proceeds from what I'm about to propose after I show the video to you all. This is the Night Ministry. They're a really fine organization along with others here in Chicago. So take a few moments and see what they do.
Morning, it's the Night Ministry. If anyone's home, we got food, we got rags, medicine, nurse on board, social work, help with your IDs.
During these challenging times, the Night Ministry's mission will not change. We are called to provide housing, healthcare, and human connection to the poor and homeless. That is it, period. This is our mission.
The initial lockdown hit our homeless population real hard because they normally panhandle for their daily income, and overnight that dried up. There was no foot traffic. That meant they had no food, they had no way to get it. That was a very scary time for them because they're not getting mass media. They knew there was a virus, but they didn't know what that meant.
Keep them warm so they don't freeze.
We were scared as well. We didn't have the information on what this virus does and how it's transmitted so well.
Need any food or medicine? Come on out, y'all. Good morning.
We didn't know what to expect if people do get ill. We were wondering, are we going to bring this home to our kids? Are we going to bring it home to our parents?
When the state gave us the notification to close down, it definitely impacted the homeless youth that we serve because they depend on drop-in centers. They depend on us to operate. Imagine like living in a 2-bedroom apartment with 21 young people and trying to social distance and trying to feed them and also give them services. How are we going to do this? How are we going to maintain a staffing of 24/7? How are we going to provide food? And can we do it?
I panicked for all the people out on the streets, particularly when it was so cold out. And my first thought was all the volunteers that came to the Night Ministry to serve meals and how is that going to be handled?
There's some real nice hoodies over here.
Our primary goal, keep the doors open, keep the wheels on the bus turning, keep the outreach teams on the street, but to do so in a way that kept everybody as safe as we possibly could. That was the biggest challenge.
We knew the need was there. The people we serve are the ones who've fallen through whatever safety nets our system has. Our system isn't built to serve these folks. They're very much forgotten about.
Night Ministry, good morning. If you're awake, come on out.
As a team, we kept coming in and getting the job done because we were passionate about our friends out there on the street.
Okay, what did you say, you fell or were in a car wreck or what happened?
Nah, I got attacked on the L.
No one on our team is going to say no if they think that they can help somebody in that moment and that they have it within their ability to do one more step, to make one more call, to make one more trip, to stay out a little later. They're going to do it. We work so close together in already a stressful situation. When you add the COVID response on top of that, we fostered a real love and connection to each other, a real dedication to each other's safety, which is important in the work we do.
That's what the doctor ordered.
The only way to get through it is to work as a team. And as you know, there is no I in team. It was really amazing to see how the youth programs team at the Night Ministry really came together to help us. And we also had senior management offering to come in to do shifts. So it really was an all hands on deck approach.
We know people were out suffering. So our decentralized approach to providing services out on StreetMed allowed us to really react very quickly during the COVID response.
When they call us back, that's when you just talk to the doctor on the phone.
So right off the bat, we rolled out a pilot project for being able to use telemedicine when we're out on the street in the moment.
So if you have any other psychiatric issues, they've got doctors that will help you with those medications right on board.
You're able to bring a resource to treat opioid use disorder and to do psych med management. You're hitting two of the major reasons people end up being homeless. Telemedicine is so perfectly tailored to help those people get the help they need.
We pretty much quarantine inside together. Our supportive services department helped us come up with innovative games and programming for the youth. And it was really important for us to still offer things that we would normally offer. Literacy programming, whether it's financial, we still were able to do that, but from a different lens.
Yes, the night ministry did move to a new headquarters during the pandemic, and we also moved one of our shelter programs to that same location. It was odd because in the midst of all of the chaos, the move itself was a reminder to us that there's hope, that things need to keep moving forward, that we will survive and we will get through this and we'll be around to use this new building.
When I walked into the crib for the first time, it was like finding a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It was everything that I expected to be. It was very emotional. It's like buying your first home and you have your keys and you get to move in and you get to see what you worked hard for, and then you get to see the expression on the young people's faces when they see it. A lot of bathrooms, and there's like a computer room, and there's a space to just go and sit down and have a cup of coffee if you want to. And so just to have all of that, it's so rewarding. It just makes the work you do so worth it.
People are good, and people care, and people love, and people act compassionately. And we cannot do our work without that love and that compassion of those who stand beside us.
In the darkest initial days of the pandemic, the outpouring of support was just overwhelming. Community members, individuals, making hundreds and hundreds of sandwiches. They would just deliver it to my doorstep. There were times I had to fill up my entire car and bring it in and take it out on the street. When you're exposed to sometimes the uglier side of human nature, the angelic side can be very overwhelming and a wonderful reprieve.
Our volunteers are very dedicated and they're passionate about the crib.
Because volunteers were probably not going to be face-to-face with clients, I decided that I would support at least once a week a meal from my family. My decision was to cook some of them, but more importantly, to support the local businesses in my neighborhood. And I went to them and I asked them to prepare the meals for me. It was just super important because I knew that volunteers were not going to be on the front lines with the people in need.
We've learned a lot during 2020, this year that has been like no other.
You need something out of the man? Food?
We continue to be reminded and learn about the resiliency of those whom we serve. That despite the pandemic, despite the chaos in the world, they are survivors. And that resiliency is an inspiration to us.
I am so grateful to work in an organization that values its employees, that values our clients, and has a mission statement that we actually live by and create our programs by. I've been given professionally the freedom to explore and grow different options and grow the program in different ways.
And if you need us, this is our cell phone.
I'm just grateful to have found a place in modern day medicine that allows me to do that.
I would say on behalf of CRIB staff, my outreach team, and just all of Night Ministry, to our supporters, our donors, our volunteers, that this could not have been done without the support of those individuals. We are extremely thankful and happy to have that support. It is our foundation. It is the heart of the Night Ministry.
The experience of the last 8 months has taught me with regard to gratitude is how fragile life is and how fragile the world is. We can only strengthen ourselves through that fragility with the help of others. And when that help comes, when those individuals are standing beside us to prop us up, to assist us in our work, that's gratitude. That instills in me a sense of gratefulness like I've never felt before.
So that's a pretty amazing organization. And I can tell you firsthand from having volunteered for them many years ago, everything they do there supports everything we talk about here. They house people. They provide medical services for people. They counsel people. They do everything that we expect our quote unquote leaders and representatives in governments to do here in Chicago. So I'm asking you all, you can donate directly to them. I encourage you to. I encourage all of you to find a Toys for Tots bin and put toys in it for underprivileged kids. I encourage you all to participate and donate non-perishable goods to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. But here's my pledge to you. For everybody that hoped we could kind of come together in a community event, bring things to give to people and enjoy something together, I have got boxes in my basement of my Christmas movie on DVD and Blu-ray. Actually, let me take this off screen real quick. Here's the DVD. Here's the Blu-ray. Here's the soundtrack CD, scored by the Budapest Scoring Orchestra in Hungary back in 2018. Lush, beautiful orchestral score that I commissioned for the restoration of the movie, which was Lifetime's very first original holiday movie back in 1994. Pulled it out of mothballs, scanned it in 2K, restored it for its 25th anniversary. It went to several film festivals, did very, very well, thankfully. And as I still have a lot of Blu-rays and DVDs that we gave out to our crowdfunders that helped us with the costs for the restoration of the film, they aren't doing any good in the basement. So you can donate directly to any of those organizations, or if you choose, you can go to solsticemovie.com/Chicago Corner. And if you donate through this website and only pay for the cost of shipping, which I think is like $3 or $4 per piece, you can bring the movie home to enjoy with your family for the holidays and know that your money is going to be donated to the Night Ministry in Chicago. The Blu-rays are $20. The DVDs are $15. The soundtracks are $12. The 27x40 poster suitable for framing, as you see the art there, representing the beautiful lakefront corridor Lakeview corridor where the film was shot. They can all be yours, and all the proceeds from this fundraiser will be going directly to the Night Ministry. Since the venue in Lakeview didn't want to even respond to my request to rent their venue to bring people together, I'd rather that this stuff go to a good cause. And I am pledging that all the proceeds from these Blu-ray, DVD, and CD orders and poster orders from any of you out in the audience that are interested in it to bring it home, share with your family, all the money is going to go to the Night Ministry. How's that for overcoming adversity and figuring out a way to give back when you can't find partners to give you the support you need with resources you don't have? So that's my pledge to everybody. I hope you will all look. It's not a lot. It's like $20, $15, $12. It's not a lot, and you get something in return, and the money will go to the Night Ministry to support all of the programs and all of the good that they do here in the community. I hope that it's a worthwhile exchange. Again, you can donate directly to the Night Ministry or any of these organizations, but I wanted to give something back and try to rally people together, give back in exchange for my viewers giving to a good cause as well. There's no skin off my back. I'm happy to give these things away if it could add some extra encouragement to asking you all to contribute so that we can send some money to the Night Ministry. So that's my pledge. That's my request to you all. I hope that if you're so inclined, I'm going to post in the live chat actually, E. Heller put the link in the live chat so people can see it. Head on over to solsticemovie.com/Chicago Corner for that very special Chicago Corner link. I'll even autograph the items for you before sending them out to you. And I will, before Christmas, let everybody know how many of these we've managed to collect donations for. and I intend to send the proceeds to the night ministry, do some good over the holidays and beyond. I'm hoping by December 21st. So that's my my request to all of you who enjoy the show. If you can help participate that way. So moving on, I'm going to take us to our first story of the evening. That is a follow-up on a story we previously reported on last week regarding the ward boundaries here in Chicago and the tone deafness of our city council as it relates. So, same shit, different day, right? As city council fights over ward boundaries, a resident-backed map is delivered to City Hall, and wouldn't you know it, with no aldermanic support. The Chicago Advisory Redistricting Commission held dozens of public hearings before crafting a map its members claim could win a referendum against a city council-led map, but they need at least 10 alder people to endorse their plan. And this comes to us from Justin Lawrence at our venerable Block Club Chicago. An independent group formed to reimagine Chicago's 50 wards for the next decade submitted their People's Map Monday at City Hall as its supporters raced to drum up city council backing for their proposal. Backed by a coalition of good movement groups, backed by a coalition of good government groups, the Chicago Advisory Redistricting Commission created a ward map after 31 virtual and in-person public hearings across the city since June, outside the traditional halls of power. The group's map has largely rid Chicago of weirdly shaped, gerrymandered wards that have been criticized, and rightfully so, I'm editorializing, for splitting neighborhoods into as many as 6 wards while preserving the power of the politicians who drew them. The end result would create 15 majority Black wards, 14 majority Latino wards, and the city's first only majority Asian American ward centered on Chinatown. We've produced the fairest, the best, and the map that has been created by the people of Chicago, and we will prevail, said former Alderman Dick Simpson, who advised the group. But, of course, dear viewers, as of Monday, and this is shocking because I know we've got a progressive bloc that I would have hoped would have embraced this, no alderperson has publicly signed on to support the group's map. Without a city council sponsor, the group leaned on Simpson's expertise and directly introduced their map with City Clerk Ana Valencia's office Monday morning, along with 1,600 support signatures. A supermajority of 41 alderpeople must endorse a ward map by December 1st, or else Chicagoans could be asked to choose between competing maps through a referendum next year. If a city council-led map isn't passed by December, any 10 alder people who didn't vote for another proposal can sponsor an alternate proposal, including the People's Map, to put it before the voters. Before walking to City Hall, the People's Map group held a news conference inside the Hotel Allegro, where ward committeemen once met to divvy up city powers, because that's what it's all about, guys, right? The alder people's powers. To explain their work and express a willingness to compromise to find city council support. Chandra Van Dyck, project manager of Change Illinois, which helped form the commission, said several alder people have expressed private support for the group's efforts, but negotiations over ward boundaries would have to be transparent. We will publicize the hearing in advance. We would allow people to sign up for the hearing, including alders. They will be able to come and give their testimony to the commission, at which time the commission will take that feedback into account and publicly draw the map for all the people to see, Van Dyck said. Under the People's Map, Simpson said, the people will choose the alderman rather than the alderman choose the people. Every alderman is concerned about whether or not they can be reelected. They're not putting the people first, Simpson said. We see this as the beginning map of a real solution to that power struggle. We didn't come into this with any axe to grind. We weren't looking to empower one scenario or another, but to empower every neighborhood and every community. The council's Latino and Black caucuses appear no closer to reaching a compromise with their dueling maps. Latino alder people are jockeying for more wards to reflect a higher Latino population, while Black council members are trying to retain the number of majority Black wards despite a falling population. If this doesn't demonstrate how these fucking people can't get their acts together and focus on equity and equality amongst each other as opposed to trying to get one up on each other, I don't know what does. Across town, the Aldermanic Black Caucus introduced a broadly outlined map that would trade one majority Black ward in favor of one majority Latino ward. Its version comprises 18 white wards, 17 Black wards, 14 Latino wards, and one Asian and American ward, with the specific boundaries to be determined later. Those are the elected representatives of those communities, and they should be the ones at the table making those decisions or drawing those boundaries, said Alderman Jason Irvin of the 28th, who chairs the caucus. Not the residents or the citizens under Simpson making recommendations. The elected representatives should be the ones at the table making the decisions while they don't listen to their constituents. The Latino caucus map, which is backing from 15 council members, would reduce Black wards from 18 to 16 while increasing Latino wards from 13 to 15. Later Monday, the group rejected the Black Caucus proposal, saying the only fair representation is with 15 majority Latino wards. Also Monday, Aldermanic supporters of the Latino caucus map called for 3 special meetings with City Council next week to discuss and potentially call for a vote on the map. The Rules Committee was scheduled to meet Tuesday to debate redistricting, but the meeting was abruptly canceled. Mayor Lori Lightfoot said Monday at an unrelated news conference, City Council members, had got themselves into a little pickle by pushing up against the December 1st deadline without a compromise in sight. Lightfoot also claimed to have been very consistent for a year on the need for transparency and community engagement in the redistricting process, but she has thus far taken a hands-off approach to the remap. As mayor, Lightfoot abandoned a campaign promise to support an independent commission to redraw the map. But with a little more than a week to go, Lightfoot believes there's room for compromise. If they throw this to a referendum, anything is possible, and I don't think most members of the city council want to get to that point, but they've got to recognize the art of compromise, she said. Well, there's something I can agree with Mayor Lightfoot on. Going into the live chat, let's see if Gesundheit. Thank you. We don't have a lot of, it doesn't seem we've got a lot of viewers tonight. I think I've got about 8 or 9 viewers. I don't know what you guys think about the ward redistricting. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I'm right. I would just imagine that the best way to approach this is with the compromise that Lightfoot actually mentioned and not trying to get one up on each other's caucuses, whether it be Latino, Black, Asian, or otherwise. So that's an update on that. Now, in a related story, let me go back here in the article because I think that there was a related story. Okay, so let's bring this up. It's related. I have to copy the link to put up on the screen. Sorry, gang, it's taking a moment to load. I'll bring it up over here. So who's with me tonight? Chime in the live chat. I want to see how everybody's doing. Love to hear what people's plans are for Thanksgiving. Hopefully you're all going to be spending it with friends, family, loved ones, maybe volunteering, helping some organizations that could sorely need manpower and assistance for our underprivileged people here in the city. All right, so here's the other article. I'll bring this up so we can kind of understand what this is all about. The city's ward boundaries are decided by a few powerful aldermen. What if maps were drawn for Chicagoans by Chicagoans instead? This is what the gerrymandering issue is about. Gerrymandering has long led to Frankenstein ward boundaries that don't serve residents. A civic group says it's time for Chicagoans to take over the process. Look at that. Look at that word. Gerrymandering leads to Chicago's wards being all sorts of odd shapes, like the second ward, which resembles a lobster. How about that? A coalition of civic groups is, I'm going to take the Gesundheit down, is launching an independent citizens commission in an uphill effort to produce a new ward map for Chicagoans created by Chicagoans instead of a few powerful aldermen. Under the coalition's vision, a volunteer committee of independent community members will select 13 Chicago residents to sit on the commission to create a map of the city's 50 wards. Organizers hope the citizen-backed map will get enough city council support to set up a referendum vote in spring of 2022 to allow Chicago voters to choose between the map and another version expected to be created by Alderman and Mayor Lori Lightfoot, which I just reported on in the other story, have been ignored. Now, this article we're talking about right now that I'm sharing with you is from March of this year. This preceded the update that I gave you guys tonight previously with the other story. And again, this story is from Justin Lawrence. Led by Change Illinois, with the support of good government and neighborhood groups from across the city, the coalition will train and pay for the commissioners, provide a remapping expert to advise the group, and organize community meetings to solicit feedback before redrawing a resident-centered ward map. That's all been done. It's all been done to the deaf ears of city council. It's time to end gerrymandering that protects incumbents, Dubek said at a Tuesday news conference. Again, this is from March. It's time to give residents the power, and we're calling on them to use their voices to shape their city for the future. Chicago is required to redraw its legislative districts every 10 years to account for population changes following the U.S. Census. The city must be separated into 50 contiguous wards, each with roughly the same amount of residents. So, do we understand why our aldermen are resistant to what was proposed, that they are ignoring? They're grasping onto that power, guys. They won't let go. It's not about us. It's about them. What a perfect visual representation of the fuckery afoot with gerrymandering. Absolutely. There is a lot of gerrymandering in New York City. Yep. Heard that too. Well, there's gerrymandering nationally with our senators and our congresspeople as well. Trish Taylor, Friendsgiving. So we're done with that story. Let's talk a little bit about Thanksgiving. Let's get off the news right now. Take a moment, get my blood pressure down, about Thanksgiving. So I am very, very blessed to have my family living here in Chicago. I'm going to be able to see my parents, my sisters, my nephews, my niece, my dad on Thursday. But we also have me and my friends also have a very special event to which Trish Taylor just referenced, Friendsgiving, which we're going to do on Saturday. It's a potluck where all the friends get together that would normally be spending time with their families on Thursday to share food and goodwill and friendship amongst each other. And I'm glad, Trish, that you're going to be enjoying a Friendsgiving. So, yeah, this is what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. I'm going to be seeing my family at my sister's house. We're extra lucky this year. We're extra lucky this year that we will have my mom with us, who suffered a pretty nasty fall on Sunday. She stumbled. She hurt herself. Luckily, she's okay. You wouldn't know what to talk with her on the phone. They let her out of the hospital today after 2 days of observation. They did cranial scans. She's luckily all right. She looks like she went 10 rounds with Rocky Balboa from her injury, but she'll heal up. And luckily, there wasn't any more serious injury related to her falling down. So as we're reflecting on Thanksgiving and our families and who we're very, very grateful and blessed to spend it with, I'm very lucky that I have my family. I hope most of you are also. I know through the years we all, lose parents, siblings as we get older. Hopefully you've got friends and another larger support network to also rely on, spend the holidays with, because nobody should be alone at the holidays, Thanksgiving or otherwise. So that's what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. And I don't know that my mom's watching now. I know that she likes to watch later, and she'll always, I love the show, Jerry, really well, but stop touching your face all the time and stop swearing. You're much better than that. You shouldn't curse. And Mom, that's part of my shtick. I'm just being myself. But anyway, Mom, if you're watching now or later, you've got some good vibes coming from the group, from the viewers. And I'm glad that she's home safe with my dad and going to be healthy and heal up. Strong Spartan mom. And I love her and the rest of my family very much. So as Thanksgiving comes upon us, I think that that's something I hope many of you out in the viewing audience are also able to enjoy and hold close during the holidays. So let me go to our next story, since we kind of took a diversion into Thanksgiving and what we're all going to be doing. Now, this story was reported today, and wow, talk about a shift in gears. This is very, very troubling. Going to report it. I don't know that anybody in the audience, has eyes out for what's going on here, but it is a very, very important alert to people in the community. Amundsen High School is asking for help to find 2 students missing since Friday. And I'm sure their families, as we're talking about families at the holidays, are alarmed right now that these 2 young ladies are missing. Sujeli Zapata, 15, and Isabelia de Leon, 15, were last seen Friday morning at school, police said. This comes from Alex Viva Hernandez at Block Club Chicago. 2 Amundsen High School students have been reported missing and have not been seen since Friday morning, according to police and school officials. Sujei Zapata and Isabelia de Leon, both 15, were last seen around 7:45 a.m. November 19th at the school, 5110 North Damon Avenue, police said. Zapata is Hispanic, 5 feet 2 inches tall, 110 pounds, with brown eyes and light brown hair, according to police. She was last seen wearing a black Nike skull cap, gray Columbia jacket, Nike t-shirt, pink pants, and white Crocs. She also has a scar on her left eyebrow. De Leon is Hispanic, 5 feet 4 inches tall, 110 pounds, with brown eyes and light brown hair. She also wears glasses, according to police. Here are the 2 young women who are missing. Hopefully, just missing. This is one of those stories where you hope that they just did something stupid and ran off on their own instead of encountering what kind of horrible foul play we read about in the news elsewhere. No additional information was available Monday afternoon. Police spokesman Anthony Spicuzza said it was not immediately clear if the girls know each other or if they were together when they went missing. The girls' parents could not immediately be reached for comment. Parents from the school posted the missing persons flyer on social media Monday, asking each other and the school how they can help find the girls. We know that events like this can cause tremendous anxiety about the safety and security of all students. Please know that at this time, beyond being events and students, there's no indication that this disappearance has any direct connection to our school or other Amundsen students, Amundsen principal Anna Pavishevich said in a letter to the school's community Monday. Now, anybody with information about Zapata and De Leon should contact police at 312-746-6554. Missing persons flyers are below. I don't have anything linked in the show notes yet, guys, because I was in such a rush to get things going, but here's the information that you can find at Block Club Chicago. When the show's over with, I'll update all that. This is really, it's very alarming. No family should have to worry about where their missing children are at the holidays or any other time of the year. So I thought that was important to spread the word, share that story, and hopefully, spread the photos of the 2 young women if anybody's seen them. I hope if they're out there, they're safe. But the fact that they didn't know each other is what's scary in a situation like this. It's not like they were 2 friends hanging out and they just went off. They could have potentially gone off somewhere together. They don't know each other and they both disappeared at the same time. Our prayers and good well wishes go out to their speedy return. And that's, I guess, all I can say about that. Now, going into other stories, school related. This is something we reported on earlier this week as well. Unrelated, but I did feel it was important to do a follow-up to this particular story. And we're going to do it. Because although these disappearances at Amundsen have nothing to do with this, there's some other trouble afoot within the CPS school system. How about this? Remember this? We reported last week on the grooming and sexual abuse of students at the Logan Square School, Marine Leadership Academy. CPS promoted the principal who allegedly failed to report sexual abuse at Logan Square School. I sense some deja vu with, Chicago Park District, lifeguard sex abuse scandal, Park District commissioners, leaders not reporting anything, burying the story. Is this just business as usual in Chicago? In all of our institutions, whether it's the Park District, CPS now, other other sections of our civic structure. So keep in mind, when we reported this last week, those teachers that were under investigation for the allegations from 2019, they weren't suspended. They were allowed to continue teaching until I think it was last week when the report dropped. So CPS knew about Aaron Golfer's involvement in the Marine Leadership Academy scandal for years, but they kept her on staff and then promoted her to a top position within the district, records show. This comes to us from Mina Bloom at Block Club Chicago. Chicago Public Schools knew about allegations of sex abuse at a Logan Square school for years, and the district recently promoted a principal who knew about the abuse and did nothing to stop it, records show. One of the 10 employees fired from Marine Leadership Academy for their role in the sex abuse scandal uncovered last week was former principal Aaron Galfer, who allegedly failed to report the misconduct despite knowing about it for years. How's that possible? How does someone in that position of leadership not, number one, know eventually they're going to have to account for it? Number two, would immediately report it to protect students within the system. But Galfer's removal was not as clear-cut as CPS leaders have claimed. CPS knew Galfer was aware of the alleged abuse, but instead of firing the principal, they kept her on staff and promoted her to a top position within the district over the summer, records show. WBEZ and the Sun-Times were first to report on Galfer's employment history. Work in Chicago, CPS, city government, city council, park district, mayor's office, fail upward. An explosive Inspector General report Friday revealed wide-ranging sexual abuse and cover-up at the Marine Leadership Academy. The report described sexual abuse and inappropriate contact between students and teachers, the grooming of students, who later had personal relationships with staffers upon their graduation, sexual harassment and retaliation. The report also alleges those in charge attempted to cover up this behavior. Galfer, who was principal of the school from 2015 to summer 2021, was part of the cover-up. According to the report, Galfer was fired from CPS November 5th, a couple of weeks after the Inspector General disclosed the full extent of its findings with the district leaders. CPS spokesman Mary Fergus said. Okay, so you know what? I can't continue reading it. It's enough. It's like we know what's going on. We reported on it last week. We're reporting on it now. I'm bitching. I'm complaining. What are we going to do about it? What can we do about this? What aren't we doing about it? Propping up, supporting, and trying to elect city council members that should be doing more, or a mayor that should be doing more in how they are overseeing, disciplining, investigating, enforcing laws across all areas of civic service. I don't know. What does the CPS stand for there? Call it means Children's Protective Services. Yeah, these abuse stories are crazy, Miguel. Absolutely. Going back a moment. Thank you. Yeah, well, I do my best. So, yeah, I mean, I wanted to follow up on that story. You'd think once they released last week that what their investigation found, you wouldn't find even more disgusting details like this and how people covered up, how only now people are being held accountable, while for the past 2 years, students have been exposed to these same teachers that were still serving. And I will look into trying to find out more information why they weren't suspended, because that's on me. You know, I always say I'm not a journalist. I'm only commenting on the news. But this really, really frosts my ass, and I want to know why. I want to know the why these people weren't suspended during this investigation, how this stuff continues to happen. You know, there was a huge sexual scandal in Chicago public schools, I think back when Paul Vallis was superintendent many, many years ago. And it came up during the mayoral election when he ran. A lot of people were trying to cover up the fact that happened under his watch and that, well, he wasn't responsible for it. Bullshit. Anybody in a position of leadership is as responsible as those committing the crimes and should be held as accountable. Enough's enough. Yes, Oreo's sheltering here. Right, Oreo? What are you doing, baby? All right, so that's an update on that story. I'm actually going over to Block Club Chicago now, as I didn't have a lot of show prep, and we're 45 minutes into the show, and I do want to share some other stories that may have happened that I didn't have all the time to prepare for earlier while I was running around. I'd like to find a feel-good story to end on, so give me a moment to scroll through here and see if there's anything inspiring to report, as I like to do. Okay, so I actually came across this story separately, and I'm being reminded of it now here on Block Club Chicago. In fact, I passed this information along to a friend of mine, and it's in regards to the struggles people are dealing with in regards to the eviction moratorium. Guess what? There's more help available. And let me see if I can also pull up the link to the new program that's being extended while let me bring the story up and I'll read from the story. Then I'll find the link. The link might even be in the story. All right, guys, thanks for bearing with me. Here we go. That's the screen I wanted. All right. So we know the eviction moratorium was lifted October 31st. We know there are a lot of people who are still unemployed, affected by the pandemic, couldn't keep up with their rents. There was a program that I believe ended in October where you could apply to the state of Illinois, fill out a form. I think Ed and I reported on this earlier this year. Fill out an application, and the state of Illinois was helping cover people's rents during the pandemic. Now, with that relief having expired, there is more information available now for people to stay safely housed, especially while it's getting cold and especially as we approach the holidays. This comes from Kelly Bauer, again at Block Club Chicago. If you're worried about getting evicted, there's a free town hall Monday that will offer information on staying safely housed. A free event Monday will focus on providing residents in need with information about how they can avoid being evicted. Please, if you know anybody who is facing potential eviction or in distress regarding their rental situation, share this story with them. I'm actually going to take the link from Block Club Chicago and post it here in the live chat since I don't have show notes up for it. Please share this with anybody who could benefit from the information. People worried about being evicted can learn about resources to help them at a free virtual event Monday. The town hall event will focus on providing residents in need with information about how they can avoid being evicted and stay safely housed, according to a mayor's office news release. Officials will provide information on renters' rights, getting financial aid, and how the eviction court system works. Free financial and legal assistance is available for people in need. The event starts at 5 p.m. on the Chicago Department of Housing's Facebook page. People can also watch on Zoom. For more information, including how to join on Zoom, go to the department's website. Now, if you can bear with me for a moment, I'm going to see if I can find the link that I shared with a friend of mine who's dealing with concerns in this area that I can pop into our live chat that you can all share with others who might need it, or call upon these resources yourself so that you're not in danger of potentially going homeless when it's cold or at the holidays. Okay, so the original link that I found was at Patch. And it's opening. Bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and also bring this up on screen. Of course, everything's running slow. Oh, and this was the headline regarding it. The Illinois Rental Payment Program will be reopening December 6th. So I'm going to assume that the program that they encouraged people to participate in that town hall Zoom meeting on Monday is going to specifically to the rental payment program reopening on December 6th. Here we go. Illinois Rental Payment Program to reopen December 6th. Applications are open to Illinois landlords and tenants impacted by COVID-19. Here's the link you want, guys. I'm going to post it in the chat as well. Again, share this with those who might benefit or need this kind of assistance with the holidays coming up to stay warm, stay safe. Applications are open to Illinois landlords and tenants impacted by COVID-19. After nearly a month-long delay due to a vendor platform issue, Chicago's rental payment program will again be accepting applications from both Illinois landlords and tenants impacted by COVID-19. Notwithstanding the pause in taking new applications, Illinois ranks 5th in the country this year in the distribution of federal funds earmarked to help residential landlords and tenants. Last year, according to Illinois Housing Development Authority's Executive Director Kristen Faust, the IHDA distributed over $500 million, 100% of the funds allocated to the state for rental assistance in 2020. The assistance isn't only for people who are behind on rent due to COVID-related lost work, Faust said. Say you lost income due to a lack of childcare because your child's daycare had to close during the pandemic and you had to stay home to take care of your child. Faust recommends getting all application materials together early and applying as or soon after the portal opens on December 6th. Due to the holidays, the window for new applications will remain open until Sunday, January 9th, 2022, about 1 week longer than the usual 4-week window. 4-week window. On or after December 6th, applicants should go to www.illinoishousinghelp.org. If renters need help now, prior to December 6th, the Illinois Department of Human Services is currently accepting applications for rental assistance. That website is illinoisrentalassistance.org. So, I hope none of you are personally dealing with this frightening thought of eviction, but if you need assistance, programs are reopening. Please take advantage of them. And when I update the show notes down below after the show, those links will be there as well. I think we might have, should we do a seance, Oreo? Should we do a seance and see who might pop up here? Oh my goodness.
Bessie, are we on the live stream again?
Welcome,
Sounds
Peg.
like we on the live stream.
How are you tonight?
I'm okay, Jerry. We got the smell of holiday pies in the room. I don't know if that's my head playing tricks with me, but it smells like pie, and I'm okay with it.
I wish I was there to enjoy that aroma with you.
Yes, everyone enjoys the wonderful aroma of pies, Jerry, and you know what everybody also enjoys?
Along with donating to the Night Ministry or any other charitable organization this holiday season?
Yes, they enjoy going to the Chicago Corner website, which is at 99perspectives.tv/Chicago Corner. And we got a link up there for your Solstice holiday fundraiser up on there. You just got to look at the graphic that says Solstice. You click on it, and it takes you right to the page that Jerry was talking about on the show earlier.
Thank you. So nobody at Hardlands Media knew I was going to do this. I was scrambling last night when I found out we weren't going to have a venue. And here's the other thing. Okay, so we technically, we could have looked for another venue, right? We were relying on one to get back to us so we could do it early in December. But unfortunately, I am faced with an unexpected rotator cuff revision surgery December 6th. So if we were going to do anything, we really needed to do it in early December so that we could also deliver the toys to Toys for Tots and food to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Now, with me being laid up December 6th, forget it. We can't do, I can't be at a live event, and I'm the one who's trying to put this thing together, nor do I expect everybody else who's busy to take it on. But finding another venue, there was no way to find another venue before I had my surgery on the 6th. So I made an executive decision to, again, offer these from my basement, $12 for the beautiful orchestral score, $20 for the Blu-ray with tons and tons and tons of bonus material, and $15 for the DVD that doesn't have as much material as the Blu-ray, but the remastered film is on there. And this poster you can also order. It's a beautiful representation of the Lakeview Corridor, where the film was filmed back in 1992 and 1993. And what is this film about, you might ask? And why am I so adamant about trying to squeeze whatever life is left in it at the holidays to do some good? You know what it's about? I have a trailer, and Pegleg, I'm glad you could join me because I'm going to share the trailer with our audience as we go towards the tail end of the show here so that you will know what you will be getting if you decide to donate to our holiday fundraiser, that all proceeds will go to the Night Ministry. And without further ado, here is a trailer for Solstice.
Although many of us face troubled times these days, we must always try to keep in mind that Christmas is not the holiday where we get what we want, but when we get what we need.
Sir, is there something I could help you find?
Oh. I can't find it myself. I don't think you can help me.
It's Christmas.
Wow.
So there you go. That's what you're going to be getting if you would kindly donate to our holiday fundraiser for the Night Ministry. Completely filmed entirely in Chicago. It's a story of, I think, anybody can identify regarding loneliness and isolation at the holidays. Christmas falls within winter solstice, which is seasonally the coldest, darkest time of the year, which is what a lot of people go through on an emotional level. So I think that if you like traditional old-fashioned movies like It's a Wonderful Life, Lifetime movies, this was Lifetime's very first original holiday movie back in '94 when they kicked off that annual tradition. I think you'll enjoy it. I'm very proud of it. I'm really glad I was able to polish it up for its 25th anniversary and enter it into festivals and have it rescored. It's something very special to me, and I hope that if those of you are able to donate something to help us with our efforts to give some money to the Night Ministry, you'll get a little something back that you can share with your families and hopefully relate to.
I tell you, Jerry, that movie looks really good. I am looking forward to watching it another 5 or 6 times in a row.
Wait, you've seen it already?
I have seen the trailer 5 or
Oh.
6 times
Okay.
in a row.
I didn't realize you'd watched it then. I didn't realize I'd shared it with you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you had a chance to take a look at it. Thank you.
Yes, I very much like the part where he said, sometimes you don't get what you want, but you get what you need. And you know what you need, Jerry.
I know
in
what
these
we need.
times.
Tell us.
Flavor improving mugs. The mugs that improve flavor.
It's the
now available in the merch store, Jerry.
It's the part of the show where we're pimping merchandise now, pimping merch for the holidays. But it all goes to a good cause. It goes to a good cause, though. It helps support our expenses here streaming, and we're paying StreamYard to share high definition broadcasts that don't come free. So if anybody wants to order some of our flavor improving mugs, I can guarantee you that money will be going towards our streaming costs, since YouTube is not monetizing us yet. And I'm doing this for free, gladly. I love what I do here. This is not a hobby for me. Even though it's an unpaid deal, I take it very seriously and I enjoy it. But if you guys want to help out with our streaming costs for StreamYard, so we can bring you all this fine programming and entertainment value with our very, very, very entertaining friend of the show, Pegleg Sullivan here, as well as the rest of our 99 Perspectives and Hard Lens Media colleagues, they make great gifts.
Yes, they do, Jerry. But also, If you want to make a donation to the Night Ministry, I got links up there on the website that I posted a link to in the chat there. But you got to go to 99perspectives.tv/Chicago Corner, and you will see links to the Solstice DVD holiday promotion, and you will see links to the what are we doing? Oh yes, Night Ministry and mutual aid link, and a link to the Chicago Food Depository. They're really good too.
Absolutely.
So anytime you feel like you want to help out, there's many ways to do it.
Yes. And you don't have to donate directly to the Solstice campaign. I just figure if you guys would like to have something back, that's my way of giving to you. You can donate directly to any of these organizations, and I would encourage you to. But I like giving, so for the extra $4 you pay for the postage, know that what you're donating for the actual item will go straight to Night Ministry. They are my charitable choice this year because I'm always impressed with the great work that they do. They're not the only ones doing great work, but because I've had a personal relationship with them in the past, I feel very close to them. So that's why I decided that was going to be my charity of choice to try to direct funds towards this year, because they offer support on so many multiple fronts. So you know that those donations are going to go to good all across the board, from food to housing to counseling to medical support. They have an amazing night. What do they call it? They've got a mobile home bus that goes out several times a week to administer directly to the community in different neighborhoods. They take a nurse, they offer coffee, they offer counseling, they offer companionship. It's just a great organization. So I know I've said a lot about them tonight, but I just hope that if you're looking for a place to give this holiday, that's a good direction.
I'm sorry, Jerry. I'm distracted by the aroma of pie.
Ooh, you know what? Can you? I got to get in touch with our friend E. Heller and ask him to send me his mailing address, so I have something to send to him in the mail. I for the holidays. I got a stash over here of stuff, and he's such a fine contributor to the show. I want to make sure he gets something in time for the holidays. So can you please pass that information along to him to send me his address?
Can do, Jerry.
Very
I
good.
think I have to be floating along though, because
Okay.
these pies are drawing me away. It's like irresistible at this point.
Well, you don't want to burn those pies.
No, you certainly do not.
All right. You have a good Thanksgiving, Pegleg.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jerry. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season.
I will.
And I hope that there are many flavor improving mugs in your future.
I'm sure there will be.
And to all of you out there, I hope there are many flavor improving mugs in your future as well.
All right, Pegleg. Have a good Thanksgiving. All right, so that concludes our pre-Thanksgiving show. I will be back on Friday. Not sure what news I will have to share, but I do wish you all a very, very, very safe, healthy, happy holiday, hopefully with loved ones or friends and family, or in support of the communities around us. If perhaps you're one of those people who has the time and inclination to go out and volunteer, I know there are a lot of organizations that could use the help this year. So listen, everybody, please remember to stay safe out there, stay vigilant, take care of each other, come back on Friday, support some of the charitable organizations that we've shared here tonight. And always remember, if it's happening on the streets, you'll hear about it here on Chicago Corner. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Stay safe.